Jane, we have said that the court looks at environment and contract, both tests.
Yeah.
Now, are there certain things that employers could ignore? And if left unaddressed, the court will come and say, this is what led this employee to resign, and therefore it is deemed as constructive dismissal.
I think the examples would be so many because it's also very common for some reason. Sometimes it's just how you handle grievances. So for starters, first of all, I would answer that by saying we must have what we call the preventive HR governance or structure, and then the curative. So on the preventive, people will always complain about their bosses, about their colleagues, about the work environment. Have you put in a mechanism where your employees can actually escalate things that they consider not very favorable for them to be able to work for you? It could be just even a whistleblower process. If the case you give for sexual harassment, someone raises, maybe I want to raise, but I don't even know where to raise. Or I think if I raise, there will be retaliation. If that mechanism was not there, and therefore I reported to HR, and they didn't know how to proceed, or I didn't know what to do with the biggest person in the business that is harassing me and how to proceed, then you can't even say there was a mechanism. Then for sure, the employee will have an easy day saying there was no mechanism, I did what I could, but there was no response. Then we have things like also to do with delaying payment for employees. So you're paying everybody else apart from Jen. Jen is always following up and say, why is my salary being delayed? Evan was paid on the 25th. I haven't received my pay. Then she's paid the following month and she's even paid in bits. And these are true stories. I know of someone who was being paid almost like a dad after following up for so long. They later declared her redundant and stuff like that. But that was actually constructive dismissal. The other thing is terms of, we could be having a working system in terms of dispute mechanism. People raise and nothing is done. So we keep raising the complaints, we follow the mechanism that we have actually put in place for employees that work here, but nothing is being done. We also have discrimination, which is outright. People are being given a pay rise, this person not being a pay rise. People are being given whatever that it is that everybody should be getting or being treated, including basic things like a job description, a contract renewal. So everyone has a contract, but now it's 6 months since my contract expired. I have been following. And there's no commitment when I should be able to get my contract.
Absolutely.
It's like I'm now begging to know, am I an employee here? Am I not? What is supposed to happen? And things to do with that. And every time you ask, maybe things get tougher. When you don't ask, things are okay. So all those things, a lot of hostility. We've been asking for support. You're supposed to be doing this, but you can't do it alone. And therefore you keep saying, I need support in this, I need support in this, and nobody's responding to you. I like the example you gave for that lady from Coca-Cola. I am very sure it must have been a trigger that now brought all those other things of...
I am certain.
Yeah, all those other things of being transferred without a job description and without anybody waiting for her to receive her on the other end. Without even, there's nobody waiting for you, there's no induction, there's nothing. So in short, you're not being supported and therefore you cannot thrive in that particular environment. So if those things, and I'll call it just dispute mechanism, if the dispute mechanism is not working, if it is broken, you can be sure if someone goes to court and they can prove it, then they might win the case of constructive dismissal.
I agree, because even where there is good intention, because you may say that, yes, there was good intention, perhaps this person has been trained in a particular skill, and therefore they are required to go from branch to branch. But if you fail to communicate that properly, or you could have a CEO who's overwhelmed and they don't have a HR manager, and because they are not truly HR or they have not even contracted a consultant as a HR, contracts are expiring and it's not in their, it's not top of mind for them to renew it. Then of course an employee might think that, you know, I'm being constructively dismissed. So communication is similarly important, so that then we do not have good intention escalating to intolerable environments.
Behavior, exactly. Yes. And it's not about the intention, it's about the impact of those actions.
That intention.
Yes. It's not even about the, it goes now to the impact.
Yes.
If you don't give me a contract, what is that impact to me as an employee? If you don't pay me on time, maybe you intend to pay me next month, no problem. We have a contract that says you should pay me every 25th or every month. It's not been communicated, but you're not living your bit of the expectation of what we said and we signed. And also we have to talk about change of employment terms. The unilateral change of employment terms. You want to move me, you want to move departments, change by JD, and we are not discussing because this is what I signed for. This is what I feel my skills deliver. So you move me to this department, I don't perform, you put me in a PIP, and I say this is not for me, I need to be trained or I can't do it. As long as it is unilateral, then it becomes a problem. So just basically when you make the environment look very hostile, the person is complaining, the person is escalating the issues, and nothing is being done. If that happens and the employee can prove that that actually happened, they even reached out for help and nothing happened, then it would escalate.
Okay.